Okay, now this says that there was adults. Okay. And, you know, it talks about this assuming the position, they're going to spank them.
Right, girls, have you ever heard the assuming position before?
So.
Okay.
Okay.
Have you ever heard the assuming the position, Kylie? No. How did assuming the position ever come in?
That's, you know, that's in that, you can get the...
Yeah, I already got it, but
okay.
It doesn't make sense to me because there's the word and the verbiage in there. I've asked the girls without really showing them explicitly, but just talking to them. They don't know how any of this
stuff
ever
So what you gonna do when you came up?
Big butt.
Spanked you here.
On the butt.
And what did you use?
It's difficult to believe how easily and quickly children are removed from their parents without any show of wrongdoing.
This amounts to nothing more than a state-sanctioned kidnapping.
Dockets are doctored.
The transcripts had been altered.
Fabricated medical evidence. Tapes edited.
The altering of trial audio tapes.
The audio tapes were criminally edited.
Transcript tapes were edited.
Judges fixing transcripts.
Victims of false allegations of abuse.
Evidence of police wrongdoing, of edited tapes, of manufactured evidence.
The evidence is being manufactured.
Father proves courts edit tapes to remove the evidence that goes against the judge's ruling.
Okay. They know what they're doing. And for them to pretend that they don't know that the records are being altered, these are not stupid people.
There needs to be more of an investigation that's going on because I don't think the story is actually told honestly. I was not afforded the opportunity to even talk to you.
That's true. Yeah.
I was like shut up, and I couldn't really.
This is not just overzealous officials claiming to err on the side of caution for children's welfare. This is a systematic confiscation of children from their parents.
You guys told me that when your dad caught you arguing that he spanked you once with his hand.
Yeah.
And your dad was telling me that somebody, Kylie, it was you, that you told your mom that he beat you with a belt. Did you do that?
It said spank. The lady, the social worker, she just like, she twists everything around that I said.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't say beat, I said fix. She put down beat.
Oh, that's gotta be frustrating. I hate when people do that to me. Because you're trying to tell the truth, and somebody else is going to twist it into making it a lie, which is going to make it hard for people to trust you, because somebody else said something that you didn't say.
The desire to protect children, of course, is a noble desire. However, what this has turned into is an industry.
It's all done. Okay. So what happens next is what we're looking at is we look at services. Okay. And we look at making sure we've got okay situations. All right. And so how we do that, and as I said, what we're looking for is to make sure that we don't have harsh punishments where kids get injuries in the future.
Right.
Obviously.
Well, on the petition that I've read, it was actually, I was appalled by it because it said that I have a repeated history of abuse or doing abuse. That is by far the worst thing that somebody could say to a parent and actually have it being written down as being fact. I've never abused or beat my kids ever.
Okay.
It's just that's very disturbing to me because people tend to believe what they read.
Absolute immunity for prosecutors that could make conduct illegal and prosecute with the full force of government to create crimes.
A new set of crimes. It creates civil orders without rights, without your rights because you weren't there.
We often have what's called an ex parte hearing. That means one where only one side goes in and the other side doesn't get any notice, has no idea that there's a hearing going on, and doesn't even show up because they don't know what's happening.
And the incestuous nature sort of how the courts and the custody evaluators and the party that's being favored by those professionals in the court system kind of collaborate together.
Children, but in some cases the elderly, are effectively confiscated by court officials. Their estates are plundered.
I was put on trial by federal court.
I was sentenced to 6 months in jail
And I faced a relentless series of charges.
Just 2 words: federal money.
So the incentive is not to keep the child in the home.
What you have now in this country is a situation where the judiciary and the bar are working together to run a criminal racketeering enterprise that is extorting money from people under color of office.
The courts are a criminal enterprise to get money, federal dollars, from the federal government.
The entire justice system has basically collapsed.
Is this a racketeering scheme? It certainly is. It's racketeering, it's extortion, there's a whole bunch of crimes that are going on. And you have judges that are accountable to no one.
My daughters confronting social services that they lied and they had nothing to say, nothing to defend themselves with. You know, I even tried calling Heidi Randall's supervisor. She has yet to call me back and, you know, explain why the fabrication of lies that they are able to make. In fact, I never had the opportunity to talk to these people. They took what my ex-wife wrote out, went there. In fact, they talked to Kelly more than they even talked to my girls. You know, they were, according to my daughters, she was in there for a good half hour, if not longer, talking to Kelly, and never gave me the opportunity to talk about what could have happened. They took me straight to court. It's a corrupt system. There's Fond du Lac County for you, you know. And, you know, Sally Danner's right in cahoots with them. She's the family court commissioner. Don't think she's not. I know she is. She's gotta be. That's money in there.
For every child who is removed from the family home, there are 25 service providers who derive their livelihood from that child's removal. They have a vested interest in maintaining their income. They have a vested interest in maintaining their practice.
Child abuse by public officials.
The worst abuse I've experienced is at the hands of the government, and the worst abuse my child has experienced is at the hands of the government.
You know, what Kylie said here, supposedly, Kylie tells differently. She says, I never even hit her twice, and it wasn't with the belt, and she only used the belt because, and she also stated that, you know, you put words in her mouth that weren't true.
Well, again, what I would do is just to put here to say, I don't agree with this.
Okay. Well,
why would courts and judges do this sort of a thing? The answer to that question is just 2 words: federal money.
And they just simply created this statute, created all these committees, created these jobs, created these industries, and no one's going to stop them because there's no one to stop them.
So there is an industry completely built up around the redistribution of our children. Who gets the checks for the services that are offered? It's not the parents, and it's not the child. It's the service providers.
Hang in there, Ray. One of these days some of this crap might work.